Welcome to the show, Laszlo. Thank you so much for joining. Just to give you a little background, this show is all about entrepreneurship and highlighting entrepreneurs that we interact with. Every day I call them entrepreneur, and we're really fortunate to have you with us today. So thank you so much for making time.
Thank you, Faris, for having me. I appreciate that.
Yeah, so Laszlo, just so people know who you are, maybe you could just give me a synopsis of who you are, what how did you get here, and what do you do today?
Okay, fantastic. So, my name is Laszlo. I'm from New York. I currently live in Tennessee. I was adopted. I was born in poverty, homeless for about 6 years. English was my second language. Graduated 2 years of college. Currently, I am an inspirational speaker for multiple companies, and I have my own LLC.
Very cool, Laszlo. I mean, we could easily unfold any of these things for the next few years per se with all the stories that you may have, and unfortunately we know we don't have the capacity to do that today. I would love to unfold them another time. Maybe I'd love to hear a little bit about this LLC that you're having right now, as well as your inspiration speaker. What got you to start the LLC? I know you were talking before about clothing line, and then what got you to start this inspiration? How did you get to find these two companies?
Okay, fantastic. Excellent question. So I was always interested about clothes. And the reason why is because as I grew up, I didn't have clothes. I hate to say the underwear my brother wore was the underwear I wore the next day. So, like I said, I didn't really have much clothes. So I really wanted to create a clothing company and help provide clothes for other people that may not have clothes. Um, yes, it's a for-profit company, but it's also a company that will be giving out clothes to charities, like I said, for people that don't actually have clothes. So the company is called Achieve 180. And I call it Achieve 180 is because in life, when you do a 360, right, a whole circle, you're back to where you started. So you never want to go back to where you started. You always want to be better, bigger, stronger, and wiser. Now, once you go past 180, like I said, you start going back. So when you achieve 180, you achieve the best you, the ultimate you, the humble you, the most charitable you, the you that you always strive to be, the you that you were always meant to be. So I started that company um, for that purpose. Now, what I didn't intend was to have this company, although it is a clothing line, but to have this company into almost like a motivational speaking too. Because to achieve 180, you have to have, determination. You have to have resiliency. You have to be, tenacious. There's a lot of things you got to be to achieve your best you. So I started doing speeches, to my friends and to my coworkers, and eventually they said, you're pretty good at speaking. You got some good, nice motivation. You should be a motivational speaker. So that's when I really started taking that seriously, starting writing down my ideas, my thoughts, my life experiences. And currently, like I said, I am a inspirational speaker for multiple companies. One of those companies is Berkeley Pharma Tech, and I've done over 200 speeches for prestigious colleges such as Johns Hopkins, Harvard, Yale, and UC Berkeley, just to name a few. So, but yeah, I really want to change people's mentality.
Wow, Laszlo, I mean, that's incredible. So when did you start speaking and being, making it a focal point of your life?
I officially started professional speaking uh, actually this year in February, and I've been doing it now for about 5 months. And I do have a couple TV shows, radio shows, and events already lined up. Some of them are paid events, but that's not the point. But they're lined up for October and November of this year. And then 2023 and 2024, I have events already lined up. Um, so I'm very excited about that. And yes, eventually I want to be on the TED Talk. That's for the future, but yeah.
That's incredible in a way. I mean, you seem to like know how to do things only the difficult way per se, or whether it's a choice or by design, being homeless, before age 6, and then finding your way to the U.S. and learning another language, and joining another family. That's a whole nother world. And then, just to keep reinventing yourself to fit in and keep moving forward. Congratulations, and what a journey.
Thank you. Yeah, it's interesting when it comes to that. Trying to find yourself as a person. I find when it comes to, we all heard the term, honesty is the best policy.
Mm-hmm.
And we always try to be honest with business. We always try to be honest with relationships. We always try to be honest with our friends, coworkers, employees, But one of the hardest things I find is being honest with yourself. I find that very difficult because we always, talk down to ourselves. We always are our worst critic. And we always sort of stress the truth, if you will, to ourselves. It's very important to be honest with yourself, honest with what weaknesses you have, what you still need to work on. Only then can you get to the next level. So I found, throughout my life, being honest with myself is one of the ways that I really started achieving a better me.
Well, I mean, that's such a big topic that we will have to unfold.
Yes.
So let's just take a break, and we'll be right back to continue this conversation with you. Thank you so much for being with us, Laszlo, today.
Thank you, Faris. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Finjan Show. We appreciate you being with us today, and thank you for being here. Laszlo, I would love
Thank
to
you.
unfold this whole concept of what you were discussing earlier, which is the mindset. So walk us through your mindset, and what did you have to come through to be here?
Absolutely. Mindset, it's such a big topic, and I don't know how much time we have, but I'll try to explain it as efficiently as possible. I believe a mindset is really key in how you go about thinking about your life and your capabilities. So, for example, let's talk about option A and option B. How many times have we heard in our lives that, oh, you need a backup plan? What happens if this doesn't work? What's your backup plan? What's your, what happens if your dream doesn't work? What's your backup plan? What's your second option? We've heard these sayings all the time, and I've heard it just yesterday too. So, talking to one of my friends, as she wanted to work for Disney. And she said if that didn't work, she would do, I believe it was a nurse or something like that. So, but if you look at Olympics for a minute, look at Olympics. The difference between a gold, silver, and bronze is pure mindset. It's pure mindset. If you ask a silver winner, what silver? They will say, well, Laszlo, silver is when you try to reach for gold, but if you don't make it, that's when you get silver. And when you ask a bronze medalist saying, well, what's bronze? Well, Laszlo, bronze is when you try to get gold, and if you don't make it, you get silver. But if you don't make that, then you get bronze. But in the gold mindset, there's no such thing as silver. There's no such thing as bronze. There's only gold. Silver and bronze don't exist. If you ask the gold medalists what's silver, they will look at you funny and say, what do you mean? What is silver? I don't know what silver is. Is that a place? Is that a thing? Is that an animal? What is silver? Could you explain it to me? It's funny because those who settle for a job but don't go after their dream always gets bronze. Those that settle for a career, not a job, a career, but still don't go after their dreams only get silver. But those few that go after their dreams and only their dreams will always get gold, because there's no other option. When you give it your all will always be enough. Your all will always be enough, because all you can do is all you can do, and all you can do is enough. But you got to do all you can do. And when you look at your lives today, we can be honest with ourselves, and we know we haven't done all we can do, because we always try to put a safety net under us. And that safety net, that option B, is what's holding us back. Because when you climb a mountain and you have a cliff to jump, there's no safety net. I guarantee you won't hold back, try to jump. You'll give it all you can do. You're going to jump there. You're going to make sure you make it. So you have to have that kind of mindset when you go after your dreams, when you go after your passions and goals, when you go after life, because life is so huge. You have to have that huge mindset. So that's how I went about with my life to start achieving what it is I want to achieve and who I wanted to impact through that achievement.
Thank you so much. I mean, clearly we could spend days on this topic alone, and it sounds like that's what you usually do, is speak on the specific of the mindset. And that actually is very similar to what I usually talk about. Entrepreneurship in a way is a mindset. It's the way you think about life and how you approach challenges or opportunities. I'm curious to hear, Laszlo, and maybe we could end it with this. How did you start the first business? I mean, what experience did you have? I mean, you told me with the clothing, you told me with this, with the speaking now engagements. What did you do to make sure that you're ready, you get able to do it? And how were you able to, despite the challenge that you might have faced, keep going forward to reach where you are now?
I do admit, a lot of things I learned, I was self-taught. I self-taught everything myself. I did a lot of research. I read a lot of books, but I also connected with the right people. I connected with the right people. So, they say you don't have to know everything. You just have to have the team that knows everything. And you got to be the leader to lead that team. So I did connect with the right people. I joined organizations such as Naiades Oncology Rowing. They'd made me the chairman of their clothing department. And that is one of the ways I was able to connect with the right people, get in touch with vendors, really get the feel of how clothing works, how material costs works, how production works, how shipping costs work. And from there was I able to really finalize, okay, how would I start my own clothing company? And where would I go through vendors, website development, and so on and so forth. But I believe that if you surround yourself with the right people who know possibly more than what you think you know, you can achieve a lot more than you would on your own. And Henry Ford himself, if I remember correctly, he said himself he didn't know everything, but he had the team that knew everything. It takes a special skill to conduct and organize the team, the right team that can help you with your dream. So not everybody can have that leadership, that sort of leadership. That's what makes you different from others. Others may specialize in certain topics, such as accounting, financials, legal stuff. But the reason why they don't have their business is because they don't have what you got.
Yeah.
So I had to connect myself with the right people.
Yeah. So Laszlo, I mean, entrepreneurship is not easy, as you know. What might have been your highest point, and what might have been your lowest point per se, and how did you deal with those two situations?
It's an excellent question. I believe one of my highest points was actually getting all the required information, finding out the right name, registering my LLC. That was a pain. That was not easy. I went through trial and error, getting trademarks. That was not easy. Once again, trial and error. But now I'm more experienced in that. So, but I enjoyed that. It was difficult, but I enjoyed it because it was my company. It was my passion to be doing that. One of the hardest parts was to keep going, because I believe there were some bumps and blockages in my way, and some of them were big, such as time commitments, utilizing greater resources. Like I said, finding vendors that have lower costs and better quality material. Those were difficult to find, and sometimes because of that, you can sort of lose the motivation to keep going. But you got to remind yourself of something. Why are you doing this in the first place? Your why you're doing something is what's going to keep you motivated. It's what's going to keep you standing up even when you start tripping because you tripped over a bump. You will fall down with entrepreneurship. You'll fall down with your business. But you have to remember why you started in the first place, what's your reason, and that's what's going to keep you standing back up and keep walking forward. So every time you fall, and you will fall, keep remembering why you're doing this. So I had to keep remembering why I'm doing this, because I want to help people. That's the ultimate goal. I want to change their mentality, provide them with clothing that I didn't have. So that's why I kept standing up and kept going.
Laszlo, thank you so much. Clearly, we can keep you here for days going through this journey. I wish you continued success. So if there was one word to leave aspiring entrepreneurs with, what would that be? One word.
Do it now.
Okay. We appreciate
I
you
say do it.
so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Faris.